Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 2210 Northeast Kellyanne Court here in McMinnville. We're located at the front of the home, just off to the left of the front doorway. 3-inch ABS cleanouts are point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. Here at 15 feet, it transitions over to 4-inch PVC pipe. Everything looks good so far. Okay, right here at about 53 feet out, looking at the top of the pipe, there is a very large amount of buildup up there. I'm not sure if that is like grease or if that is like dirt or something like that that's seeping in from the outside of the pipe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Otherwise, if it were grease or something like that, or items that would have been coming down the sewer line, I would expect them to be building up on the bottom of the pipe, not at the top. But I'm not entirely sure what that is. It kind of looks like a combination of grease and mud. I have a feeling there is something going on underneath that, though I do recommend a Hydrojet to remove all that junk and then a rescope to find out what exactly is going on. It's possible that maybe the main lateral at some point backed up, which we just reached here at 55 feet out. This is the main and the end of the scope. Everything leading out to this point looks good, but this last few feet here, there is a little bit of standing water as well, but there's no debris buildup in the flow line, or the pipe itself all the way out to this point is very, very clean. So this little belly here doesn't appear to be affecting the flow, but I have a feeling there's some kind of damage underneath that debris there on the top of the pipe, and it's allowing stuff to seep in from the outside of the line. That's really all I can think that would explain that, apart from maybe the main lateral backed up, overloaded at one point, and deposited a bunch of junk. But that's precarious enough that it's very important to get that cleaned and then rescope to see if there's something underneath there. If it turns out that there's nothing and it is just debris buildup, this little tiny belly here at the very end of the pipe, I mean, it's only like a foot and a half long, if that, and has about a inch at most of standing water for a very short section of pipe. So it's nothing I would ever recommend repairing because it's so insignificant, but it's possible it may require a repair anyway if there's damage to the top of the pipe here. So I'm going to go ahead and locate this spot. I'll mark it with a white X. I'm just kind of putting the camera here in the right here at the start of it, here at 53 feet. And I'll mark it with a white X. I'll mention the depth and location here in a moment. But it should be out in the street. It's right next to the main. Alright, I did successfully locate the camera head out in the street. There's a manhole cover. There's a manhole cover out in the middle of the road, and it's about 1-2 feet from there. It's really, really deep, so my locator's having a hard time picking up an accurate depth. But I was able to peer down through the manhole and actually see my camera there. So I know it's definitely right up next to that manhole cover. So marked with a white X there. It's right around 15 feet deep, it appears. So if there is indeed a crack or a break at the top of the pipe, this is probably an ideal situation to do a liner rather than to excavate, because that would be one heck of a hole to dig for one little section of pipe like this. But if there's a break, it's obviously allowing a lot of junk to seep into the pipe here, and that could at some point fill up the line and cause it to become blocked. So again, I recommend a Hydrojet to remove all the debris, and then a rescope to see what's underneath there. Apart from that, the rest of the line is in good shape and flows nicely. And even right now, even with the debris buildup there, unless you were to flush some giant wad of paper towels or toilet paper down the line, there's enough space there between the debris buildup and the bottom of the flow line, even with a little bit of standing water, that everything's getting through there without a problem right now. But if that could most definitely become worse with time if there is a crack or a hole or something like that in the top of the pipe. But right now the line is functioning. But I need to get that checked out to make sure that, or to ensure that it remains functioning and doesn't need some kind of repair work done to it. But it is possible that the main lateral backed up, and if you get a bunch of grease and junk in the pipe, that stuff will float to the top of the water, and so it's possible it's just a bunch of debris that deposited there when the line was backed up, or the main was backed up. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera out of the line. Once again, we've got good flow all the way to the main, even with the issue currently in its current state. Again, I can't guarantee that it will remain functioning if there's some sort of hole in the top of that pipe. So I recommend a Hydrojet to remove the debris and a rescope to go back in there and see if there's an underlying issue to that debris buildup.